All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash, the bonds to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. So he takes all that I can put his word of true charity with charity. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, whom the word any calls God and Jehovah. Bahasham is in the name. Yahweh Shai is his son's name, who the word any calls Jesus, and Rachak Kodash is the Holy Spirit. As always, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to Holy Scriptures, as well as the speckled bird, the scattered Israelite foreigners, scattered amongst other nations, whose outer appearance may seem to be of that nation to whom they've been scattered to, but whose lineage through their father's line go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You are Israelites, no matter what your outer appearance may seem to be. And as always, I'm the brother Adair from the Great Millstone Branch here in Chicago, and I'm back with another lesson. It's going to be entitled, We Are the Israelites, and our struggle proves it, you know. And hey, man, certain things that the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, the things that we're subject to, because we all are, the same struggles we all three groups go through, and those same said struggles were prophesied to be upon the people of Israel in the last days, So through process of elimination, we are the Israelites, man, This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 16. It says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So we identify most with these prophecies, with these words written in the Holy Scriptures. We only, Hey, as the Lord said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I'll punish you for your iniquity. And he was talking about the Israelites, man. Hey, the things that we went through, it was because the Lord was judging us. It was for a chastening of our nation, Everything written in the Holy Scriptures, Deuteronomy 28, man, the latter day description of the Israelites, that's all the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. We are those people. So well, it's a scattered bird. But we're going to go into it. This is Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. And then when you read up in this same chapter, it says the ox know of his master, and the ass is, I'm going to grab it really quick, actually. I don't want to paraphrase it too bad. This is Isaiah chapter, this is Isaiah 1 and 3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. And that's the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. They don't know where they come from. All they know is slave trade. All they know is being conquered, by their slave captors, whoever that may be, But they don't know who their biblical lineage goes back to. Every other nation can track and say, oh, we go back to Ishmael. We say, I go back to Ishmael in the Bible, Elam, I can go back to Elam. But the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, we're just notorious bywords, the most precious and spectacular people. But, they just don't know where they're coming and going. But, hey, this is the Scriptures, man. This is us, man. It says, I'm going to go back to verse 5 just to hit the point. It says, why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. And hey, that's the Israelites, man. That's our people, man. That's what's wrong with 2/3 of our people. Our people are spiritually sick, man. They don't know who they are, man. They don't have no moral coding. Hey, it's something terminally wrong with our people, man. And they don't know what it is, man. It says the whole head is sick and the whole heart faint, They don't know what the hell is going on, As it says, continuing on, it says, verse 6, from the sole of the foot even unto the head, there's no soundness, and our people aren't whole, It says, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores, they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. And our people got the curses on them, man, we're oppressed, and it's just so much. Everything in a book is wrong with our people, man. Nobody knows why, huh? This was just a lot that we was given. No, it's because we are the people of Israel, and this is the chastening of our nation. This is our our time without the Most High, so to say. But that time is being turned back. The Lord is turning back our captivity before your eyes. It says, verse 7, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. And then it says, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire. Hey, look at where our people live at, man. It's literally so-called ghettos. When you go in the word ghetto, it means where the Jews reside, where the Jews dwell. Barrios, man, reservations, man, is literally the worst living conditions, right? It says, your cities are burnt with fire, your land, our physical land, Israel, strangers devour it in your presence. And it tells you that Jerusalem will lay desolate. It's like it says, Jerusalem will be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. After the time of the Gentiles is the kingdom of heaven. So, obviously, this ain't the kingdom of heaven, man. You know? Hey, so guess what? It's a weird people over there in our land, man. You know? It says, strangers devoured in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers, man. You got Ishmael, you got Ham, you got Amalekah over there, you know. It says, and the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge, in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city, right? And hey, that's our people, man. We're just over here in captivity, hemmed up on all sides, you know. But hey, there's more proof of who we are. This is Deuteronomy 28:28. It says, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Hey, you wonder why Jake just can't get right, shooting each other. You know, they don't attack nobody that look different than them, but they attack themselves. Got rap music, you know, that's literally promoting the destruction of their own people. Sell drugs to themselves, which is literally destroying their own people, man. Hey, it's something mentally, spiritually wrong with our people, you know. It says, verse 29, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. Our people can't prosper. You know, we've had various so-called revolutionary leaders, but hey, ultimately nothing worked. It says, and thou shalt be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. And ultimately nobody has ever saved us or can save us except for the Lord Yahweh Shai, man. You know, it says, thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore. And is that the so-called issues today that's oppressed and spoiled? No, they're doing all the oppressing, you know, and spoiling, man. You know, but hey, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American getting sucked dry, man. You know, this is Isaiah chapter 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. So hey, it says this is a people robbed and spoiled, man. And hey, ever since we came over here, you know, our brothers came over here. Hey, only thing that's been happening to us, man, is being spoiled, man. You know, taken for a rob of, you know, the Native Americans, the Northern Kingdom, taken for their land. You know, the so-called Southern Kingdom, you know, not being credited for building up, you know, this place. It says they are all of them snared in holes. It's nothing but traps, you know, as a so-called Israelite in this society, man. It says, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for prey and none deliver, for spoil and none saith restore, right? And the so-called blacks is like the least, I believe it's like 13% of the U.S. population, but majority of them are, you know, of that small population, majority of them populate the prison houses, man. You think that's by design? No, that's biblical prophecy. So like it is by design, because it says Esau is the accuser of our brother, you know, but it's biblical prophecy, man. It says, they are for a prey and none deliver, for a spoil and none saith restore, right? And there's always just tension between so-called whites and so-called blacks, man. That's that enmity, you know. Continuing on, it says, verse 23, who among you will give ear to this, and who will hearken and hear for the time to come? It says, verse 24, it says, who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom he have sinned? And it says, who gave, you know, basically who gave the Israelites over to these conditions, man? It said, did not the Lord. So the Lord ultimately put the Israelites in this predicament, which we are the Israelites. Reading off everything we read, it says he against whom they have sinned, and ultimately it was because of our sin. It says, for they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. So the Lord judged us, man. Simple as that. And the proof is right here. This is Daniel chapter 9 and verse 10. It says, neither have we obeyed the voice of Yahweh our power to walk in his ways. It's like to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. Yea, all Israel has transgressed thy law, even by departing, they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. And then when you go into Deuteronomy 28th chapter, it gives you a list of the blessings and a list of the curses, which did befall us, man, the curses, man. And it also telling those curses that this would be a sign of, it'll be upon thy seed forever, and it's going to be a sign, a sign of who? A sign of who we are, It says verse 10, so like in verse 12, it says, and he have confirmed his word. So the Lord did as he said, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. It says, verse 13, as it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us, yet may we not our prayer before Yahweh our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. So ultimately, we didn't listen to the Lord, and the Lord judged us. It says, verse 14, therefore have Yahweh watched upon the evil and brought it upon us, for Yahweh our power is righteous in all his works. And it says, in all his works which he doeth, for we obeyed not his law. And the point, I actually missed the point. But verse 12, I'm going to hit it again. It says, and he have confirmed his words. So like it says, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. So the worst things, the worst atrocities have happened to who? The so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, just judged through secular history. But when you go, in the Holy Scriptures, these same said worst atrocities have happened to the Israelites. So by default, we are the Israelites, man. This is Isaiah chapter 51 and 20. Thy sons have fainted, they lie at the heads of all thy streets as a wild bull in the net. They are full of the fury of Yahweh, the rebuke of thy power. And two-thirds of our people, the Israelite man, he's completely destroyed, man. All he want to do is gang bang, destroy. As it says in Isaiah, wasting and destruction are in their paths. All they want to do is gang bang, and do hurt, essentially, commit iniquity. It says, verse 21, therefore hear now this. So like it says, therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith Yahweh, it's like thus saith thy Lord Yahweh, and thy power that pleaded the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of the hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. And ultimately, the Lord is going to take that cup of slavery, the cup of curses off of us and give it into the hands of our enemies, right? It says, verse 21, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee. Just as it says in Jeremiah 16, it's like at 30 and 16, it says, all they that oppress thee shall go into captivity, roughly paraphrasing. It says, but I will put into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over, man. And who's the most trodden over people, man? Who? The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Who physically had to get down and let Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, walk over them, man, during slavery, man. The so-called Southern Kingdom, as well as the other tribes, man. In Ecclesiastes, it says, I have seen princes upon the earth and slaves, it's like in servants upon horses, man. And you had that statue with Teddy Roosevelt with a so-called black man and a so-called Indian on the left and right, man. So the scriptures tell you exactly who the Israelites are and their latter day status, so to say. This is Hosea chapter 3 and verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. So the Lord stripped us out of all of our culture, our heritage, our laws, statutes, commandments, our understanding. He stripped us of all of that. We're reading it right here in Hosea, right? It says, verse 5, afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek Yahweh their power, and David their king, and shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in the latter days. So the Israelites in the latter days will lose their heritage, but as biblical prophecy prophesied, they will come back to their heritage and follow the Lord. This is Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh our power. And that we here in our captivity, the Lord sent his spirit and woke us up out of that dead estate, and we understand what time we are, we were subject to payment, got to pay taxes, got to pay every unrighteous decree, man. It says, verse 9, hear Israel, the commandments of life, give ear to hear. It's like it says, give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land? So in the last days, Israel is going to be their enemy's land, not in their own land. Sovereign, man. Hey, we're under captivity, man. We're not sovereign, man. It says, how happened in Israel that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, a country that's not ours, although our brothers were here first, you know. It says that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead. It says that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom, for if thou hadst walked in the way of the Most High, thou shouldest have dwelled in peace forever. But, you know, according to the Lord's story, it didn't go that way, you know. But hey, Lord willing, this was just a quick lesson. Just want to bring out this, this topic. It was just on my mind, you know. And hey, Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Call Halayim La. Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. The bonds to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. So I take so that I can put the word to sincerity with charity. Shalom, Barakatham, and a Baba Ball.